That's right. That's what everybody wants. They want the D for Dillard.
A modern podcast where Chris and Mike talk about TV, movies, superheroes, and everything in between. It's time for Superhero Slate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name's Mike Royer.
And this week, it's showtime, a-holes. Did anyone bring any tape?
I don't know.
Baby Groot presses the button?
Oh, does he though? But does he though?
Oh,
we don't know yet.
I mean, I'm assuming he will.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and find out.
Yes.
But this is episode 99
of
Superhero Slate. We are one episode away from episode 100. I think there's finally going to be someone that wants to syndicate us, put us on 5 nights a week, probably TBS, something like that.
Yeah.
Then we'll really be raking in the dough.
The channel nobody has.
We'll be on after the Big Bang Theory and then just before like reruns of Seinfeld.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I mean, as long as the Seinfeld crowd's getting us, that's what matters to me. I think we're a little too smart for the Big Bang crowd, Mike. So
I don't know. Always Big Bang crowd is always an easy target, isn't it?
That it is.
I'll give Big Bang credit where it's due. Some of the earlier seasons of that show are actually legitimately good, and I like them. These the second half of the series is a little shaky, but it's a simple show. You don't really have to concentrate too hard when you're watching it. We still watch it every week, but it's not exactly something I'm dying to watch. But it's an easy sit back and watch. Just browse your phone, look at Reddit, look at Facebook, and you're just half engaged.
So it's your background noise.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, I understand that. I actually, that brings me up to a very good point here to talking the riffraff. I signed up for DirecTV Now this week.
Oh, why? You're part of the problem, man.
I don't know why that's a problem. Like, I still don't know why you think that's a problem.
Okay, so I understand that you're getting a deal. I understand the deal. But there are markets out there in the United States. There's areas where people have capped data. Like, they can't download as much as they want during a month. There's actually some poor schmucks out there that I legitimately feel bad for that can't stream Netflix, like, all the time. Like, they'll get towards the end of the month and they're getting close to their data cap. It's really ridiculous, and I hate it. Like, data caps on phones are already bad, but putting them on your home internet is even worse. So, like, they're just trying to entice you by getting this by getting this package by saying it's not going to count against your data and stuff. I don't know. It's all bullshit.
I mean, then you would have the same problem with Netflix as you have with this streaming service. Like, there's nothing. I mean, the only thing is I can watch this on my phone for free if I wanted, like, without using my data. That's really it. But it's this background noise. Like, I've literally exhausted my little hard drive here of TV shows, like, to the point where it's like I'm gonna have to start rewatching series, and I'm like, I'm not ready to rewatch like all of Seinfeld or all of Regular Show or what have you. And Netflix is okay, but right now they're on that Christmas binge. Like, here's all the Christmas movies on Netflix. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. So I will give DirecTV Now 3 months to see if it's something that we watch or use fairly frequently. There's 100 channels, and right now I've watched a lot of the Game Show Network, if I'm going to be honest with you. Reruns of Family Feud definitely go over well in this house. But I mean, I also get FXX, so I can watch, Archer or Always Sunny when it's live. I got to watch South Park live this week. That's the first time in probably, 5 years I got to do that. And the add-on package for HBO, because the last episode of Westworld is tonight as well, is only $5 that you can turn on and off every month.
Speaking of Westworld, we benched and we are almost caught up on the show. We have episode 9 to watch today, and then we'll probably just roll right into the season finale tonight. So very, very awesome show. I'm curious where they're going to go, like, long-term for this type of show, because they have obviously it'll be the third season of Westworld that will be out there when there won't be any Game of Thrones. So it'll be curious to see if they can get some longevity out of the idea. But if we roll back real quick, you said you watched South Park for the first time live.
Yes.
And I think that's a good segue into the from riff raff to more riff raff, where you saw something that the creators of South Park made the other night that I got a chance to see last year. So I'm glad that you finally got a chance to go see the Book of Mormon.
I did. We got to see the Book of Mormon. We were in the middle of the auditorium here in Louisville, and I think that was probably the best place to be. I would not want to be any closer. You would miss the whole set, and the whole set is just beautiful. It's a very the set design is awesome. The lighting, everything, it's fantastic. You laugh the whole time. If you're easily offended, you probably shouldn't listen to the show to begin with, but you shouldn't like that it's not for the faint of mind, I guess. But we had a great time. Like, it was fantastic, absolutely wonderful. So
yeah, it's such a great show, and the soundtrack is like super catchy. So now that you've seen the show, like you can go on like Spotify or something and listen to the soundtrack, and it's awesome because it like transports you back to watching the show, because obviously the album has all the tracks in order, so it's kind of like you're reliving the show just through audio, which is really awesome because those songs are so catchy. And
I don't know if we had this like the same cast, but I know they said in this one the one who lies, I can't even think
Cunningham?
of his Cunningham, yes, Elder Cunningham.
Yeah.
Is actually he wasn't an actor, he was a comedian, and then he got into the play, so his like comic timing was just on par. Like, it was beautiful. Like, and I
believe that role on Broadway was originally by Josh Gad.
Yes.
From Frozen fame.
Yeah,
Frozen from Olaf fame.
He is also in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast live action movie as Gaston's little buddy. So
yeah, so I would definitely recommend Book of Mormon, as I'm assuming you would, to anybody that's coming through your town.
Oh, definitely. I think the last night here is tonight, and it's funny because that's we were actually seeing The Little Mermaid there in February at the same place.
Oh, great!
I bought tickets to see stand-up comedian Stephen Lynch as well, so he'll be
cool.
coming through town. I don't know if you've seen him. Pretty good stuff. I've
awesome.
Ago, so.
Good to know, and I'm glad you had a good time watching the show.
I did. I'm glad to be here. Glad to talk about all the other stuff that came out this week. And as Mike mentioned, this episode 99, we might have a surprise for episode 100. So come back next week, and we'll let you guys know what that surprise is going to be.
Yeah, like we say, we're here every week.
Yes, even when Mike doesn't want to be, we still do it. So I find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
So speaking of episodes, not only do we have 100 or 99 of these, we have I think 17 or 18 spoiler cast episodes on top of this. And fantastic piece of where to find them. We're recording our spoiler cast for that tonight, right after this, and it's a very big one.
Yeah, and not even just recording it. We are bringing our superfans of the Harry Potter universe into the spoiler cast. So it's mainly going to be us digging their brains for all of these Harry Potter type Easter eggs and figuring out how exactly this stands up and holds up to the lore. So that's going to be cool. So you'll be able to hear the whole Superhero Slate family, I guess you will.
Yeah,
on that spoiler cast.
At least two of our fans who haven't left us just yet, so we'll go with that. Also, I did find out where the Fantastic Beasts were, Mike. They're in the case.
Oh, okay. They're in the case. Gotcha.
So, spoiler cast. If you're subscribed to us, you'll see this right in our feed. If not, head over, subscribe to us, listen to us. We got that. Another big thing this week, huge thing on, I think it was Sunday night, I texted you, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, tickets are now on sale.
Yes, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't these supposed to be dropping on Monday, not Sunday?
Yeah, I believe there was midnight Eastern when they dropped.
So I see. So
I think
technically midnight.
Technically Monday at midnight, and you guys were able to get them over there at the same time we were. So I don't know. They might be sold out. I didn't get them as soon as I sent the text because I was late here. I fell asleep. Woke up first thing and bought them, and I'm not in my ideal seat on the IMAX theater, Mike. I'm on the fringes.
Ooh, on the fringes. Yeah, it was a mad dash for me. I was working on our I was doing some Photoshop work for our holiday Christmas card that my wife loves to send out, and I saw some iMessages pop up on my desktop, and it was 2 different text message threads warning me about the Rogue One tickets. Now, I had said the previous week that I didn't think these tickets were going to go as quickly as The Force Awakens, and I don't think they really broke any websites, but they did go very quickly, so I'm glad I jumped on them as fast as I did. I had some friends out here that were trying to organize seeing it together, but I didn't even see those text messages because I was just on autopilot as soon as I saw that. I went to my normal theater's website. I bought the tickets. I miraculously got ideal tickets. It was a strange island almost. It was like the center of the movie theater was all sold out except for the very middle of the center. There was exactly 2 seats left. So I'm thinking maybe somebody was in the checkout process and either got kicked out, or because the site was loading very slow for me. When I clicked checkout, I was watching that pinwheel spin for a while. So I was like, oh man, they're getting hammered right now. So nothing crashed, but I got some really good seats, so I'm looking forward to Rogue One. I think it's going to be pretty sweet, so hopefully everybody else got their tickets out there.
Yeah, there are definitely lots of clips and trailers coming online on TV. So if you want to stay fresh, don't watch them. Don't click on anything that says Rogue One. I think first initial impressions are starting to even like filter out a little bit slowly here over the next week or so. So just be wary of that, and get on your tickets. Maybe if you're listening to this, it might be too late. You may not have gotten opening night or opening, I guess, your ideal first showing of the night. So just get on there, get out there and get them if you need to.
You know what? It's okay, Chris, because they have till technically Sunday, till Sunday night to see the show, because that's when our spoiler cast will drop for that.
That's right. Yeah, get out there, get it. Just don't click on anything online. Full internet lockdown. However, we do have confirmation that Rogue One will not have the opening crawl from Star Wars that we're accustomed to.
I think that's pretty cool.
I don't know if it's cool. I don't care either way. That's not the part of Star Wars I remember the most. I remember them popping up, but I don't remember what they say.
Well, I just think it's cool because I like the idea that they get to differentiate themselves from the rest of the you can't even call it a trilogy anymore. What is it, the saga, the Star Wars saga? They're just kind of being their own independent thing. So I like it just shows that they have flexibility when it comes to these Star Wars story movies. So that's good.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, honestly, I'd have been okay with them actually putting it on there. I don't think it would have affected me or even made me think it was separately or like, different, but whatever. It's their Star Wars. They'll do whatever they want. New generation for people, right?
New gen.
So one of the reasons these Rogue One tickets may sold is Spider-Man Homecoming trailer debuts with Rogue One. Don't forget that.
Yes.
Not
only will we getting that, we'll also be seeing that brand new Guardians trailer that came out just the other day. So it'll be a nice couple trailers in front of Rogue One.
That's right, and maybe even a new Logan one. Who knows what's going to happen over the next couple weeks? But don't be late to Rogue One. Get in there, sit in your seats, watch all the trailers. But the trailer debuted at Brazil's CCXP this weekend for Spider-Man, and there's a little bit of news out of this trailer that I think we can talk about or we can not talk about. Mike, it's up to you. It's nothing spoilerish, just stuff that will be in the trailer later on.
I think I can be patient. I want to be patient. I want to wait for the trailer to drop, just because I think we might be getting it possibly as soon as maybe next week. I don't know. I was talking to you earlier the week where we were hoping that maybe the trailer might leak online because people, an audience got to see it, because we've seen in the past. With Marvel / Disney, that when a trailer leaks, sometimes they'll just go ahead and put the official one out so people don't have to watch a low quality thing. So I was never gonna watch any leaked trailer, but I was like, hey, a leak might preempt the early trailer's release, and I'd be okay with that. So I thought that there might be a chance that we could be talking about 2 huge Marvel trailers this week. So we might have to wait another week, maybe 2, to get that Spider-Man trailer.
That's okay, because the one we got this week is enough to take up a whole show. I think we could do a whole show in the trailer this week. But this trailer went over so well that they actually filmed a fan reaction video of the fans watching the trailer there at the Comic-Con experience. And honestly, that's something that I might watch it just to see, but I'm really excited for the Spider-Man trailer simply because it's Marvel and Sony Spider-Man. We've seen him for a few minutes in Civil War. He gets his own movie with his new villain we've never seen before. I'm really stoked for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, can we talk about CCXP for like a second?
Yeah,
just because I've never heard of this convention before. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be heard of. I've just literally never heard of it before. And all of a sudden, there's a bunch of news coming out of this convention, coming out of Brazil. Like I saw video game news drop. I saw stuff about like Marvel dropping that Spider-Man premiering the Spider-Man trailer first to this, I guess it was a convention. What'd you call it? The Comic-Con experience?
Yeah, CCXP stands for Comic-Con Experience, and 2016. And I don't know if it's always in Brazil. I honestly, I don't know much because the website is purely in, I think, Portuguese when you get there.
Okay. So I don't know if it. Yeah, I guess maybe it could be a traveling thing. Maybe it's always in Brazil, but I don't know. I was just surprised. I'd never heard of it before, and all of a sudden we were getting all this news out of it.
Yeah, I think it's the one. I guess maybe one of the bigger conventions for South America. And if they have a trailer or at least a little bit of the clips to tease already, might as well get the word of mouth rolling a couple weeks ahead of time. So
yeah, I guess the timing just worked out well for them.
Yeah, it did. So maybe we'll start hearing more out of this. There was a couple things going on this week, and we'll talk about another big convention that was going on here actually next with the PlayStation Experience this weekend. They unveiled a new game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and we got a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this leaking last week. I think we tentatively called it Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but I guess now it's called Infinite.
Yes. And why is it called Infinite, Mike?
Because I guess probably the coolest thing to take out of this trailer is they're bringing Infinity Stones into the game. I don't know if exactly these are going to be power-ups that anyone can grab, or if maybe just we saw Captain Marvel have one in the trailer. So I don't know if just Captain Marvel has the time gem just because, she's space and she gets them. I don't know.
We saw Ryu had the power gem when he was fighting.
I didn't even notice that. There's so much going on in the trailer. I can't even follow it.
So in this announcement trailer, Capcom showed it's Ryu from Street Fighter and Mega Man versus Iron Man and Captain Marvel. And something we can take away from this is, the Iron Man has his big gun, as always, from all the Marvel vs. Capcom games. And Miss Marvel, actually, she transformed into her form called Binary, which is like one of her more powered-up forms in the comic books. And they have the Infinity Stones, which allow you to do something, I guess, different depending on which one you can power up and activate. I think you pick one at the beginning, and you get if you do well enough, you can activate it. And,
I see.
And we saw the Power Gem, and Ryu just kind of laid the smackdown with the Power Gem, and Captain Marvel had the Time Gem. I think she was able to slow down time and kind of keep her combos going for a little bit. I guess one of the things to walk away from this game is more than likely to not have any X-Men characters in it, but focus on the current cinematic universe characters. So be more of a little tie-in on that. So are you a big Marvel vs. Capcom fan to begin with?
Last week I said I really like the art style of the game, which was true, but it's just, I don't know, there's a really heavy learning curve for the game. Like, if you're just kind of like playing like casually with some people that have never played it before, it can be kind of fun. But the second you play against anybody that has any experience of the game, you just get trounced. Just because it's a game totally based on combos and swapping in and out of your characters, and you got to know what your characters are good at and like balancing their health. It's just too much. I know it looks like a fun game, but it's too much for me.
yeah, totally. I mean, it can be overwhelming. I don't mind playing maybe some of the single player modes sometimes, maybe on easy for fighting games. It's not my cup of tea. Obviously, it doesn't sound like as much of yours either. But this does have a 2v2 mode, which they were showing off. There's cinematic modes, and it uses the Unreal Engine 4 for graphics, which you can kind of tell a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see. I don't know. It's definitely not a game I'm going to buy right off the bat. But I definitely will be following this pretty closely to see maybe what characters we get. I'm really interested in the roster more so than anything.
So, yeah.
So, you can check out the gameplay trailer we saw in our notes. And I think it's a fall-winter 2017 release. So, we'll keep you posted on that next year. Marvel Funko also started a new thing called their animated shorts this week. And we got the first one, which features Iron Man and Spider-Man versus Loki. And it's called Spellbound. And it's
a commercial. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, they've essentially... I mean, they've always done this for, like, from what I've seen, the collector core boxes. Like, they had Deadpool in his little chimichanga truck driving around for, 15-second ads. And the X-Men ones are doing something. But they're doing these, like, little animated shorts. Bait and Switch, I think, has Rocket and Groot in it. And then Chimichangas is another Deadpool one. So chances are they've probably already built these character models up in some, art program and are just making them animated for a little bit. So, will this change your mind, Mike? Will you buy into the pop vinyl craze?
Man, I'm running out of space in my apartment for literally anything. Like I sold my Xbox 360 today just because it's been sitting on the floor for the longest time. So I cannot carve out any more square footage for things.
Well, all right then. Well, I guess we'll invest in some shelves for Mike. That's what we'll get him for Christmas. Some shelves.
I need a shelf budget.
So I don't think these animated shorts they're not for me. I'm already sold on the idea of Marvel pop vinyls, but I guess they're cool. Whatever. I mean, Angry Birds became a cartoon before it became a movie. So if you can franchise it, I guess, or create something from it, might as well do it. One of my most anticipated pop vinyls, though, is the Black Bolt pop vinyl coming up early next year. And that leads me into Marvel's Inhumans, some more news on the TV series front coming up here. The series is going to debut on television, ABC, on September 26th, just a couple weeks after the theatrical run of the show. And it will run for 8 straight weeks. No breaks, no commercials or anything.
So are
there
they
might
saying
be commercials, but
so are they saying it's only an 8-episode series?
Yes,
or they're just talking about
that was yes, it was 8-episode series is what it was originally announced as. Like
okay, gotcha. So it's kind of like an Agent Carter type deal. I think wasn't her first season 8 episodes?
Yeah, and then the second one I think was 10. Yeah. So it's definitely just an 8-episode series. The first 2 filmed entirely on IMAX, and IMAX is, like I said, they've got some financial stake in this. They're paying for some of the episodes and stuff like that too. So it's a big team up of stuff over there. A lot of people have pointed out that September 26th is Tuesday nights when we normally see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, I don't think Inhumans is going to be a 10 p.m. show on ABC. So I think Inhumans being on Tuesday nights leading into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is supposed to help get more numbers for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, this might be a direct competition with the CW because we talked the other week about how Legends of Tomorrow is going to be moving to Tuesday nights. So obviously, I would say if you look at a weekly schedule of all TV shows out there, like
we have on Superhero Slate.
Yeah, I would think probably the number one rated show on TV right now probably would be The Flash when it comes to superhero shows. So ABC is just like, hey, we're Marvel, we're Disney, we're going to compete, and we're going to just bring a whole new show to fight your 2-hour block here. So,
well, do you think Legends of Tomorrow will get to season 3? That's something I don't think the show will do.
Ooh, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if it didn't make it, if they didn't replace it with another show. I mean, the CW is cranking out these heroes like no one's business. So,
I think they just refill the hole on Thursday with a new show rather than try to replace the Legends of Tomorrow. They moved to Tuesday nights.
Maybe either way, it sounds like don't have plans on Tuesday nights, people.
Yeah,
there's gonna be lots of stuff going on, whether we know the final lineup or not. But
sit in front of the TV, people. Do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely really excited for Inhumans. I mean, you know that everyone who knows me knows Inhumans is my baby. Very excited, but I know if they're gonna hit that September release, we're gonna get casting announcements and more very, very soon.
And I think next week we'll go ahead and we'll kind of talk about that Invasion crossover that was on the CW.
Yes.
Give people, an extra week to kind of catch up because it's four nights of television that you kind of have to connect. And if you're behind on any one of the shows, you might want to catch up. So we'll talk about that in episode 100 of Superhero Slate.
Yes, definitely. I think that those crossover episodes always deserve their own little breakdown and talk about them. Fun fact though. that was given to me by people who watch it. Supergirl, you can skip.
Okay.
the invasion part of Supergirl is recapped at the beginning of The Flash. So,
okay. Well, I'm gonna watch them all either way.
That's cool. That's cool. I just wanted to pass on what people told me, and what I kind of used to do that. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, we'll talk about Invasion next week for sure. But here, and first and foremost, we are going to talk about the biggest news of the week, which happened less than 24 hours ago, with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the first official teaser trailer hitting, and landing, and just being the best thing ever.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny. Do you call it a teaser trailer? Because what do we call what we got 2 weeks ago then? A preview of the teaser?
Well, the only reason I said that is because that's what Marvel has labeled it on their YouTube channel.
I don't understand the nomenclature of these things. I would just kind of call it probably the teaser trailer. That might work, but I have no idea what to call that thing we got a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, some people call that the official trailer number 1. Some people are calling this trailer number 2. But what I appreciate is what we saw a couple weeks ago doesn't share much of what we saw yesterday. It wasn't half of this trailer just shown earlier. This was actually almost brand new footage all around for the 2 minutes we saw or whatever.
So, and I believe this dropped during some sort of sporting event. This was on ESPN, right?
I believe so. I want to say there was like a Dr. Pepper bowl or something that was going on. They put it up.
We know nothing.
Yeah, we really don't know. I know I was visiting my friend. His wife, they just had a baby this week. So we went over to say hi and see how everything was going. We were driving home, and my wife was like, the trailer hit. And I'm like, let me pull over. And I pulled over on the side of the road and watched it on my phone. And
oh wow, dedication!
I'm for the cause. Shared it on Facebook and then drove home, which was like another hour. So I definitely
I was in the grocery store buying construction pieces for gingerbread houses. So I saw that the trailer popped up, and I was like, oh god, we gotta get home. And I put it up on my big 50-inch TV.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to do that as soon as I got home as well, but I wasn't going to wait 1 second because I had to know, honestly, what song were they going to use? Were we going to get Hooked on a Feeling again, or what is the new theme song going forward? And that theme song is Fox on the Run by Sweet.
Yes, this is a song that I think a lot of people probably don't know just by the name of it, and they probably don't even know who Sweet is. I mean, I don't, but the song is familiar once you hear it. I wouldn't say as familiar as Hooked on a Feeling from the first trailer, but I think it's still a good song choice. It really just gives a good vibe to the trailer. So, but I think this song is going to be popping up on a lot of people's Spotify playlists now.
I've been playing it a lot today. It was a problem.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how long it takes to get that official soundtrack list to drop so we can start listening to it before the movie comes out.
Yeah, definitely. So just a fun fact for you, since you don't know who Sweet is, they actually had another song in a comic book movie this year already. They did the song Ballroom Blitz, which was used in Suicide Squad.
Okay, yeah, I would say that's more of a well-known song just by the title, but we're not classic rock aficionados. Yeah. So we do what we can, but it's definitely a good song.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I guess I've been playing it, and I told my wife, I'm like, you just better learn to love it because this is it until May, because I'm really excited for the soundtrack. And I mean, we were pretty stoked on the first one before it came out as well. I believe that was the first time we got on Spotify and collaborated on making a playlist of the songs that had leaked early on. Now, if they leaked the song list, Mike, will that turn you off from the movie? Will you listen to it if that's a leak? Or are you gonna listen to it?
Ooh, I think I'd actually listen to it because that's what I did with the soundtrack the first time around, and I thought that was a pretty cool way to get hyped for the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the first one. But I think the best way to kind of talk about this brand new trailer is kind of to talk about the brand new stuff, that we saw. So saving the best for last, but the first new thing we saw would be some sort of a monster. I don't really know what it is or if it has any sort of name. It just kind of
so everyone's forgotten about this. We covered this a couple months ago. It's called an obelisk. And the concept art from Empire, like a couple months ago, had this big creature and all the Guardians fighting it.
Gotcha.
And
so
much like what our original thoughts were, since they did concept art from the first one against a creature they never fought, this would never make it to the movie. Well, guess what? They put it in the movie.
Yeah. My guess would be this creature is going to end up being maybe some sort of, maybe even a first act monster. It looks like maybe something after the opening credits roll. Maybe they're just right off the bat fighting this monster as a team together. Maybe they're trying to steal something off of a planet or something, and this monster comes after them. Just because it seems a little, maybe a little generic, just a tentacle monster. But after that monster, I would think we saw maybe a new grouping of bad guys. They seem to have some sort of a grid-lined face paint on their faces. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't. Are you talking about the ones that blow up in the blue, maybe?
Yeah, they kind of they get like blown up straight, and the camera's looking down at them. We can see their faces.
Yeah, I felt like those were like other Ravagers.
Maybe.
From the first teaser we got when Yondu and Rocket are walking through them. They look like they were like frozen and falling in the air.
Yeah, so maybe we get some other type of villains when it comes to that face. We got to see Mantis, which we had reported on for a while now. We knew Mantis was going to be in the trailer, so we got to. That was probably the funniest scene in the trailer at the end with Drax and Star-Lord and reading Star-Lord's mind. That was hilarious. I think that's the part that I think most people are keep repeating.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think the thing you're saving for last is what I think most people are gonna repeat. But the thing about Mantis is, in the comics, she's been both portrayed as a white-skinned and a green-skinned creature or an alien. So I'm glad to see that confirmed. They kind of went with the whiter, lighter skin, and she has the like empath abilities where she touches someone and can like read their mind or read their feelings and stuff like that. And it just like you mentioned, Drax, both the teaser and this nail the humor with him. Like I think he is gonna steal a lot of his own scenes yet again. There isn't a character I'm not excited for in this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool that they went with the they probably went with the lighter color skin just to give a visual aesthetic difference from Gamora, since we already have Gamora being green. So it's cool that we got to see Mantis, we got to see her in action, and then obviously, saving the best for last, the title of this episode 99 of Superhero Slate was Baby Groot.
Yes, and you can't mention Baby Groot without mentioning his sidekick, Rocket. And and to have so much Rocket and Baby Groot in one trailer just warms my heart, really. It just gets me so excited to hear their banter. And I had this conversation at lunch. My in-laws were not aware that Vin Diesel was still doing the voice of Groot in this film, because they're like, oh, it's Baby Groot. Vin Diesel can't be back. His voice is too deep. Well, they have modulated his voice, of course, to sound like a younger, higher pitched Groot. But then that is still Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and while we're on the voice, that's probably the one thing that I would probably knock about the trailer and maybe the decisions coming up in Volume 2 is it kind of seemed an easy way to go about making Baby Groot just higher pitched. You know, it just seemed like something you could do with the Talk Boy recorder back in the day. Oh, we're either going to make it high pitched or low pitched by hitting this different button on this tape recorder. So I thought maybe they could have gone a different way to make his voice sound different, but either way, the character looks like it's going to be a fun time.
Oh yeah, and then his innocence, his young, youthful innocence again coming through, not knowing that if he presses that button, it will in fact blow it up right then and there. And then the banter between Rocket again later with Star-Lord. Do you have any tape? Well, what do you mean? Do I have any tape? You have a backpack with nuclear bombs in it. Like you should have the tape.
Yeah, if anyone had it, it was you. And usually people seem to be really attached to Groot or maybe even Drax's sense of humor, or maybe Star-Lord talking about Jackson Pollock painting of semen in his spaceship. But my favorite character has always been Rocket Raccoon. So I was loving every little bit of him I got in the trailer. So I think he's the character that I always look most forward to in any scene, being hilarious and awesome and just being a scrappy little animal with big old guns. So
yeah, I think to me it looked like they maybe enhanced the raccoon look a little bit. Like it felt more real. I don't know this.
Added a few more polygons to his hair.
Yeah, a couple more individual hairs to him to make him really, really stand out. But yeah, that banter there at the beginning. The only thing I think I would knock is there's a scene where the Milano is being chased by a bunch of little ships that look to be like the mining ships from the first one, and I'm like, well, we've seen them being chased by little mining ships. Like, what's new? Don't rehash the same ships or style. Give us something new. So that would be my knock against it. But other than that, I am so stoked for May. Like,
oh yeah, solid trailer. It was really great. Gets you really hyped. Notable exclusions in the trailer that I'm sure we'll see later down the line. No Kurt Russell, which is going to be Ego / his dad. I'm curious to see how they're gonna make that work. And then also we don't see Nebula, but we have seen Nebula before. So I would think those would be the two biggest exclusions. I'm kind of hoping maybe we'll get like a secret. Maybe a Nova will pop up out of nowhere. That would be really, really cool if we could get Nova.
I would also point out we did not get any Yondu in this one. As well. We know he's going to take a bigger role in this one. And the villainess, I believe her name's like I forget. They call her in the comics. It starts with an A, like Ayala or something like. I don't know what her name. I can't remember what her name is off the top of my head. And it's bad, but I mean they haven't shown her yet. Like, who is the big bad villain? Villainess, I guess, in this one, and what's it going to be? And that might mean do we get? You mentioned. Adam Warlock, right? Or do we get the Richard Rider Nova? Maybe it could lead to that version of Nova from the comic books as well. So there's a lot of options, a lot of stuff they could drop on us, a lot of Easter eggs coming up in the second one, a lot of Easter eggs in the first one that apparently not been found. Have you heard about that as well?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, we're gonna jump. I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk about this Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 trailer? Other than the fact it was amazing.
Other than the fact that it was great and it was a great addition to my my weekend. It was great. I'm good.
Great, me too. So the original Guardians of the Galaxy, there is a large Easter egg confirmed by James Gunn that no one has found yet.
Just let us know, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been guessing, and he's like, I might let you guys know later down the road, but like he's kind of been leaving it out. A lot of people have really been after it. A lot of people have even doubted its existence, but James Gunn took to Facebook and bet this one guy. He's like, if it's not there, I will give you $10,000. So he is really pushing this Easter egg. So whatever it may be, and I think, I mean, as eagle-eyed viewers as we are, I think we would have to really sit down.
You would almost have to get a really big group of people together that just totally know the Marvel universe up and down, especially the Guardians universe, and then just divide the movie into chunks and just have them analyze their own chunk and see if anybody can find it.
It's kind of like
got to crowdsource this.
It's like an escape room, but for a Marvel movie. Like,
you
can't leave until you find out what this Easter egg is, guys. So get to work. So that's still out there for the first Guardians of the Galaxy. On top of that news, the first Guardians of the Galaxy video game has been confirmed from Telltale Games.
Yeah, I think we talked about this as possibly a rumor or maybe even a leak a few weeks ago.
Very much
looks
rumored.
Like it's official now.
Yeah, rumored last week. It's official. It's got it looks like a label maker made the video game part down at the bottom. After last week's episode, I had Superfan Jim right in to talk about the other Telltale games they make. Which are on sale on the Xbox. Some are free sometimes. There's the Batman one that's currently ongoing now. Walking Dead has 3 seasons of it. Game of Thrones. Wolf Among Us, which is from the Fables comic series. Big games. Huge hits. You kind of control a story more than a character.
Yeah, it's more kind of like a choose your own adventure type game almost.
Yeah, so you answer prompts and kind of move that way and not so much as a run and gun, shoot 'em up kind of thing, which I would like to play a Guardians of the Galaxy game that way. But if anything's going to get me to play a Telltale game, Guardians is the IP to do it for me. So that's true. Also, the last thing about the original Guardians I learned this week, the first trailer for the movie was almost shelved by the Marvel Studios. The first one that we like so much. Because they cut 2 trailers of the movie. This first trailer was not testing well with test audiences. And they had a second one that was testing better with audiences, but wasn't selling the movie as what it really was. So they were looking at the test audiences, and Marvel's like, you know what? We're not going to sell them a movie that it's not. We're going to stick to the original one. And that's the first trailer we got for the movie, the first Guardian movie.
And I think that trailer worked very, 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 very well. So they did good, trusting their gut.
Yes. So kudos for Marvel for sticking to their guns and not selling a movie that we didn't get. So bonus points there. Something else I threw Mike this week, and he I don't know how you feel about this yet still, but the first concept art images of Thor Ragnarok from a superhero convention in Thailand going on this week as well landed. And it shows Thor, and it looks to be more of his current comic book form iteration, minus he doesn't have the sleeves, and he's got 2 little swords, no hammer, point that out, and the Hulk with his very, very large hammer about to swing and hit something. So this is a very... there's a lot of bright colors going on here. It's very concept art that was designed to be bright and splashy. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the first thing that I noticed was the Hulk and his decked out in his armor, so that was very, very good. But then I just kind of glazed over the character in the bottom right, which I'm learning now is Thor. But at a glance, you don't really see a whole lot of Thor going on there. He's holding 2 swords, so he's not holding his iconic hammer. He is kind of looking down at an angle, which makes his eyes look very, very narrow, which makes me think he's one of the warriors that has popped up in his other movies. I don't remember the guy's
Hogan.
name. Yeah, but he's the Asian looking warrior. Which the only reason I bring that up is because in the top corner of this says Superhero Thailand. So I don't know if this came out of some sort of Thai.
It was a convention, yeah.
Yeah, some sort of market. So I was like, oh, maybe they concentrate their characters based on that stuff over there. So I was like, oh, maybe that's him. So, yeah, the first time I saw this, I thought that wasn't even Thor. So going back and looking at it, I'm just like, oh, why is Thor holding swords? Someone took his hammer. What's going on here?
Yeah, so he may not have his hammer to fight with. Also, his helmet is very, I guess, very straight lined, very linear, kind of like a Tron meets the Thor universe kind of helmet.
Yeah. It's just a very different looking Thor. And plus, his cape is usually a good giveaway. And his cape is there a little bit, but it's kind of masked and almost like the brush strokes that are going on in the art. So there's a lot going on here in this image. But I'm still excited for Thor Ragnarok no matter what. I love seeing these two together. They're just such big powerhouses. And that usually they kind of have to subdue them a little bit in the movies because they're on Earth and they can't just have them like destroying skyscrapers. They're usually defending. So I'm hoping when you take them off Earth, like to places like Asgard, they can just like wreck. They can just go crazy.
Oh yeah, exactly. To see the Hulk kind of break loose with a hammer and his I guess is that like a Roman or a Greek helmet, kind of like the 300 style helmets. Just going to town would be great. Jeff Goldblum's in the movie. Remember, as a Grandmaster, like we are in for a treat come next November. And this is just a good reminder that, a Thor trailer is on the horizon as well. So after we get through Spider-Man trailer, we have a Thor trailer to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm as McDonald's would say, I'm loving it. Biggest news today, however, is Luke Cage Season 2 is officially confirmed. So
that's cool.
We don't have to wait for, is Luke Cage going to get a second season? Nope. Officially confirmed by the showrunner, Chio Hodari Coker, on his Twitter. A couple images that we don't have access to right now that are I guess they're copyrighted show Luke Cage in the upcoming Iron Fist series.
Awesome.
So we know he's coming there. I was kind of hoping for a Luke Cage Iron Fist season team up, Heroes for Hire kind of season.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we will. Maybe they're just kind of saving that announcement for later. I'm kind of curious how structured the Netflix series are going to be in the long term, because as we've seen with the long term of the cinematic universe, most of our heroes are getting trilogies. We're more than likely going to get a trilogy for Guardians. We've already got it for Iron Man and Captain America. We're going to get it for Spider-Man too, probably, because we've seen the movies that Tom Holland is confirmed for with his contract. So I'm curious, is Netflix going to do the same thing? Do they think 3 seasons for a TV show is enough? The only thing that's been confirmed for 3 seasons is Daredevil right now, but he's getting a third. So I don't know. It's hard to see. Can you get a third season out of Jessica Jones? It's already such a limited character when it comes to the comic book universe. So yeah, maybe these team ups might be necessary.
Oh yeah, I definitely think the team ups will need to arrive, and I think the biggest thing is Netflix now has a longer wait list than we originally thought it would have. When it was announced, all we knew right now we would have left is Iron Fist and the Defenders. Well, now we have The Punisher, another season of Daredevil, another Jessica Jones, and another Luke Cage.
Yeah.
All and the Defenders in the pipeline. So they are bulking up their Netflix team ups, and I think Netflix is they're getting something out of it. And Disney, Marvel likes working with them because again, Captain America: Civil War, Christmas Day on Netflix. If you can watch it on there. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to Luke Cage season 2. I hope they keep up the musical elements and kind of make the whole season flow better than just 2 halves. So
yeah, that would be great.
Knock on wood. Something Mike is looking forward to so bad he can't see straight is the Mummy teaser trailer. We got our first teaser trailer for the trailer that's coming soon.
Yeah. Well, it's only because I keep asking you because the like you said, we just got a teaser trailer, which is very, very short, I think 15 seconds. But we're supposed to be getting the full-fledged trailer today, like as in the day that we're recording. But I think it's probably going to come later in the evening, so we probably won't be able to talk about it till next week. So I don't know. The teaser trailer looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels different than the old Mummy with was it Brendan Fraser? There appears to be something that goes on with the eyes of the Mummy that splits them into 4 eyes. I don't know what kind of benefit that's going to have 4 eyes and 2 eye holes. And we got to see a quick shot of Tom Cruise, and then ultimately the Mummy looks a little more dead than the other one.
Yeah, I would say the biggest difference is we have a female mummy this time around. So I don't know if there's going to be any sort of like tie-in to Cleopatra, because I think that's the only maybe ancient Egyptian female that's really popular out there would be Cleopatra. So I don't know if there's going to be any connection there. I think a bigger thing to take from this is they're kind of setting up the audience, letting you know that there's this big monster universe coming up. I don't remember the exact text that popped up on the trailer, but they're letting you know that there's a bigger universe that's going to be unlocked with this mummy trailer. So we're going to be getting other stuff like I don't know what's been confirmed.
Welcome to a new world of monsters. So
yeah, so I don't know exactly what's on the slate. Are we probably getting like a Wolfman or something like that?
So we know the Invisible Man is in the works. The other ones would be Wolfman, I guess the sea monster dude. I forget what his creature from Black Lagoon maybe. Dracula, Wolfman. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, so there's going to be some sort of monster team. That's what I'm more excited for, because I think it's cool to bring these classic monsters back. I think maybe they tried to do this earlier with that bizarre I, Frankenstein movie. I think that's maybe a franchise that they tried to get off the ground that burned very, very quickly. So it looks like this might have a better shot. I mean, Tom Cruise, biggest movie star on the planet, he might be a little crazy, but he makes good movies.
Yeah. Definitely, I mean, this is cool, and the actress who plays the Mummy in this, she was the chick with sword legs in Kingsman. So definitely, I mean, they're pulling some people here, and also I just looked it up. The shared universe is the Mummy, the Invisible Man, Wolfman, Van Helsing, the Creature from Black Lagoon, and Bride of Frankenstein.
Ooh, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, they have a lot going on. And they have screenwriters for all of them so far. So, definitely a lot going on here. So, everyone wants to have their own universe. I believe the original Monsters had like a shared movie like in the 40s or 50s. So, definitely interested to see how this all comes together in a few years. So, sign us up. We'll let you know about the trailer next week. A lot of trailers coming up next week, sounds like. The Jungle Book 2, the live-action version. Have you watched the first one yet, Mike?
No, I haven't, but I saw that it was recently added to Netflix, so if you want to watch it, go grab it there.
Yes, and you should give it a go just because this next movie is the sequel. Jon Favreau says he will direct the sequel and The Lion King back to back. These live action adaptations back to back. I mean, I guess he just has to sit in front of a computer and look at the green screen for most of it. But
yeah, I mean, I'm more curious what a Jungle Book sequel means, just because they're kind of going back and redoing all of these classic Disney movies, which, you know, it's fine if they want to do that. There's not a problem there. But when you start to look at sequels, I mean, historically, all of these sequels have been like straight to VHS type deals, just mainly to make money, kind of skipping the movie theater. So can you get a genuinely good story out of a Jungle Book sequel? I have no idea.
Yeah, so there is a Jungle Book 2 cartoon. I think it came out like almost 45 years, almost 50 years after the first one.
Wow.
So 2003 had Haley Joel Osment and John Goodman. I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound like it could be horrible, but it's got a 4.4 out of 10. So, and it did not go straight to video, sadly. They put it in the theaters first, and
wow, I'm color me shocked.
a lot of the reviews said it should have gone straight to video. But I don't know where they can go with it. I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully they do not follow this one, apparently, because it sounds horrible. So we'll definitely keep it posted. I'm probably more excited for The Lion King than I am a Jungle Book 2. Bring on new properties. Don't bring on sequels is my take on these live action things. But, you know, who am I? Nobody. I'm nobody, Mike.
Who am I? Who are you, Chris?
Nobody. Teen Titans animated movie. The Judas Contract is got a poster this week. I don't know what it's about. Apparently, it's
wow. Talk about a title.
Yeah. So I know there's an old comic that had Deathstroke as the villain in it against the Teen Titans. I'm pretty sure, but I honestly did not look this up before we talked about it. So that's on me.
The only thing I can discern from this is they must be keeping pretty true to the story, because the Judas Contract is a very bizarre subtitle to add to like an animated movie. It kind of might make sense in like a comic realm where you can kind of have cool titles like that. But yeah, it seems like a strange title. But that's all we can really talk about. But
yeah,
it must be a popular Teen Titans story if they're making a movie out of it.
Yeah, a quick Google search shows it was written in '84 and shows the secret origin of Deathstroke. So I guess Deathstroke's making a comeback, and that's about it. So, it's also the first appearance of Nightwing. So there we go. First appearances. That's why they make a movie for it, Mike.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, just throwing Judas in there from I think with the New Testament or something like that. I don't know, but we'll move right along here, because obviously we don't know much about this to talk about it.
No. In other, I guess, worse news for the DC Extended Universe, Aquaman has been delayed from June/July to October of 2018.
Ooh, so we talked about this October month last week with a movie that was coming out also in October, saying that it's
Kingsman.
It's just an odd month, because historically in the past, I don't think we've ever had a lot of big, giant, heavy hitters in October. Most of the time, the studios, if they believe in those big movies, they put them in May, June, July, heck, sometimes even March. But there's no reason that Hollywood can't reinvent these months. They kind of reinvented February with Deadpool. They might reinvent March, because isn't Logan coming out in March?
Logan's coming out in March, and Batman v Superman was March.
Came out
as well
in March. So yeah, maybe Hollywood's just like, let's remove the stigma from these months. Or maybe the schedule's just getting literally too full and they got to put it where they can. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in October, but I don't want to say this is necessarily bad news, but anytime anything gets delayed, you're always a little worried.
So I was updating the Superhero Slate upcoming movies and TV list to match this, and there was nothing other than an untitled Fox Marvel film in June and an Ant-Man and the Wasp in July. And I don't even think they would touch Aquaman is the part. So I don't know if it's too crowded. 2018 has a lot of question marks up in the air still. But definitely, I I don't know. I don't know why they moved it. There was nothing that said. Aquaman's actually been very on track. If I thought they would move anything, The Flash is March of 2018, and it has no director that we know.
Yeah, that might make more sense, but yeah, we'll have to see. All I'm hoping for in 2018 or even 2017 is just give me some good DC news. I just want to walk out of a DC movie with like good thoughts in my head.
Yeah. So Aquaman delayed. You check out our upcoming movies and TV page to check that out. However, some good news might be in the DC cinematic universe. Armie Hammer, you may know him as the Lone Ranger, and I don't know if you saw The Man from U.N.C.L.E. last year.
I hear good things about that movie.
I enjoyed it. He is rumored to join the DC universe, and he starred opposite Henry Cavill in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. But that's not the rumor why he's joining. Apparently, he's following a bunch of people on Twitter now, because if you follow people on Twitter, you're obviously going to work with him in movies. But there's a very fun fact about Armie Hammer. He was originally cast as Bruce Wayne Batman in the canceled Justice League Mortal film that never got off the ground.
Oh, wow. I'd never even heard of that before.
Yeah, there's a big documentary on it. It was supposed to be directed by the guy who did Mad Max, George Miller. And it was a 2009 movie, had everyone cast. It was about ready to go off. I mean, it was, everything was in there. I mean, it was ready to roll, but they just canceled it. And
oh, man.
They're making a documentary on it, so when the documentary lands, we'll definitely have to watch it. I mean, it definitely has a history. He has a history with Warner Brothers and DC from that, and the rumor is he might play Green Lantern in the upcoming Green Lantern Justice League, maybe future movies.
Huh.
And
all right. Well, that's good to know.
I can see him totally playing Hal Jordan if they wanted to make him Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he is very much of a pretty boy, for sure.
Yes, very, very much so. Most people may know him from The Social Network. He played the twins opposite Jesse Eisenberg as well, who's in DC stuff. So he's got his claws in there. Another movie Mike's dying to see, obviously, is Detective Pikachu. And they have our director now in Rob Letterman, who has done the Goosebumps movie and Monsters vs. Aliens movies. So...
Yeah, I don't know how much I can reiterate. I just don't know what a Detective Pikachu movie even looks like, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yep, that's really about all we can do, man. So we'll leave that alone. Detective Pikachu is happening. Probably the thing I groaned the most at this week is the Power Rangers news. Our very first look at Alpha 5 from upcoming
it looks
movie.
it looks like a drunk robot. I don't know what's going on with this Alpha 5, but it's just bizarre.
It reminds me of the alien from the movie Paul, and if you cross that with the Alan Rickman robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, I see.
But
yeah,
it's very organic looking, very, I guess, liquid metal all around maybe. And he's just got this weird slouch and a beer gut and little eye holes that come off his spherical head. I am just very disappointed in this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we need to get something official from Power Rangers on screen, not concept art, of the Zords and Alpha 5 and probably Zordon too.
Yeah.
We just need some manifestation of these things on screen, because we're just getting leaks of toys and screenshots, and it's all looking bad. So I think they need to get it on screen, and maybe it'll help.
Quit cock teasing us with this concept stuff and just give us what it's gonna really be, so we can make our opinion there and get it over with, and see if we're gonna watch it next year or not. Because I'm leaning towards hell no spoiler cast. But if they come out with a very refreshing beverage in a cold can, I might have to go watch it.
Yeah, maybe.
In more obscure news, Barbie movie is a thing that's happening. And
all right.
Amy Schumer has been cast as a live-action version of Barbie.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't really have much to say. Amy Schumer always seems to be an easy target. People seem to either love her or hate her. I kind of fall in the middle. It doesn't really matter to me. She has some really funny sketches on her show. I guess she just rubs some people the wrong way. But, I mean, if you're going to make a Barbie movie, you kind of need a big name to be in the movie. So Amy Schumer is big, so I guess that works out for them.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think she doesn't have much of a Barbie figure, honestly. And But this is supposed to be Barbie is transported into the live action world, a la Enchanted, kind of deal. So I don't know how it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure the difference in body would be the whole crux of probably the movie and probably a joke, because they sit like they've been saying for years that getting the Barbie look is literally impossible. There's no one anatomically shaped like that. But again, with Amy Schumer, I'm sure that there's probably going to be some joke like, oh, why am I not rail thin like I was when I was a doll or something like that. But either way, I don't think we're the audience for a Barbie movie. So
we might be. Well, the last bit of news here actually was going to tie into the Westworld news we talked about earlier. Or Westworld, I guess the season finale is on tonight. Well, tomorrow will be too late. But Transformers: The Last Night has wrapped filming. This has Anthony Hopkins in it, is why this all ties together.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And the first official trailer is going to arrive tomorrow, and my guess is probably a teaser trailer.
Yeah, we got a lot of trailers to talk about next week, and I'm sure we will not be ecstatic about Transformers: The Last Night.
Well, unless Anthony Hopkins can pull one right out of his ass. I don't know. We might not be, but again, it's the 5th movie in the franchise. They've done everything. They've burned every bridge they've ever had, so maybe they'll turn it around on us. So that's our news for this week. We are at an hour here, so I feel good about this show. Mike, if people want to, I don't know, see more of your art, I got nothing. There's no segue. How can people follow you, Mike?
Well, they can follow me at Mike Royer Design on Twitter and Instagram, and you can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and say I don't have a segue for you either. Just go ahead and plug your shit.
Boom. My name is Chris. I'm on Twitter at Baldan, Baldan. You can find me there. Post some stuff. You can read my stuff on Comic UI, and you can also listen to my other podcast, Film Side Chats. That's all I got. Now, Mike, people are listening to us now. They may not be subscribed to us to get our Spoilercast episode we're about to record. Where can they find that at?
Well, as always, you can visit superheroslate.com. That is the best place to find all the avenues we post the show. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Tumblr, email, and you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. If you're a fan of the show, please consider leaving us a review wherever you listen to the show. That's super helpful. We really, really like that. And if you're a super fan of the show, just share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we'll be here every week. And we got this is the last month of the year, and there's a lot coming. We're gonna do this Fantastic Beasts spoiler cast. We're gonna talk about Rogue One. There's a Spider-Man trailer that's gonna drop. Yeah. Somehow we're gonna fit Assassin's Creed in there. Somehow we're gonna talk about that in some capacity.
That thing.
But yeah, so we got a lot going here, and stay tuned, subscribe, and listen to that spoiler cast coming up next.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
Like, it's the thought that counts. I thought very little.